So here I am. I am going to be 50 years old in March. I have been on YouTube for 8 years and I have 337 subscribers. So I cannot talk today to save my life. And again, that's another thing. If you are scared of starting a YouTube channel because you think you're gonna fumble and bumble over your words all the time, you don't have to have everything perfect. And guess what? People don't want to watch perfection anyway. That's boring. Perfection is boring, people, okay? On April 23rd, 2016, 8 years ago, I started my YouTube channel. And as of today, I have 337 subscribers. If you've ever wanted to start a YouTube channel, or if you think that you can't, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know if it's going to be worth your time, you don't think anyone's going to want to watch, that's why I made this video. I'll tell you what I've been through, where I came from, and just maybe offer you a little bit of comfort, a little bit of insight. Know that you're not alone. I would say 80% or more of the channels on YouTube are smaller channels with smaller audiences, but that does not mean that it's not worthwhile. Don't let what anybody tells you, including yourself, get in the way of just, turning on the camera, turning on the lights, sitting down and delivering your message. So, you ready to get started? Let's do it. So as of February 11th, 2024, I have 337 subscribers. And can I just tell you, 337 subscribers, I'm very proud of those metrics, even after 8 years. And there might be a lot of people out there that would look at that and say, well, shouldn't you have more? Well, you know what? That's my journey and I'm proud of it. YouTube has opened up so many avenues of self-expression that I never even really knew that I had in me. I'm what you call a extroverted introvert, meaning I have the ability to talk to a lot of different type of people, and sometimes I'm the type of person that can feel lost or alone in like a huge crowd of people where I just don't really feel comfortable. That's the introvert in me. So it was really hard for me to start a YouTube channel, even though something inside of me really wanted to do it. The execution of it was hard. And I started and stopped a lot of different times in my 8-year journey, and I'll explain more about that. But I just want to let you know that you are usually your biggest obstacle to just getting started. And it's not going to be perfect, and it's not going to be any way that you imagine it to be. It's just something that you're going to have to start and something that you're going to have to go through. And you can have a different reason or reasons for wanting to have a YouTube channel in the first place. Some people start a channel because they want to promote a business. Some people want to start a channel because they just want to talk about things that are important to them. Some people just want to start a channel because they just want to share their lives, vlog or something. Whatever it is, you could start with one intention and, 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the road, have a completely different intention. And that's fine too. I started 8 years ago. There were periods of time where I was gone for 2 or 3 years at a time. Reasons, some I could control, some I couldn't control. But if you still have that desire, if you still have that dream of wanting to start your channel, just start it. So with my journey back in 2016, I had just moved to Texas with my husband and my twins. They were almost 3. At that time, I had been an esthetician and a makeup artist 12 years. And I was really in need of a creative outlet. Your life really changes when you're home with little kids. And I was just feeling like I needed an outlet. I needed to kind of talk to grown-ups, even though I didn't really have a grown-up in the house with me every day. I was, with 2 kids. But what did I want to do? I just wanted to turn on the camera and just talk. So that's really what I did. And I've always loved skincare. I've always loved makeup. I've always been the person in my family and in my friend group where if people had a question about their skin or about makeup, they would always come to me and I would always tell them, okay, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to buy, blah, blah, blah. I've worked in spas. I've worked in Medi spas. I've been a regional makeup artist for brands like Bobbi Brown, Laura Mercier, It Cosmetics. So everyone who knows me always knows I was, the esthetician, the makeup artist, the skincare makeup girl. So I was like, what better thing, right? I want an outlet. So I decided, at that point I had been a consumer of YouTube a good 6-7 years, but I always had it in the back of my mind I wanted to start a channel. But what was really scary to me was I was always worried about video quality, sound quality, and lighting. I was obsessed with, thinking it had to look perfect, and if it didn't look perfect, I couldn't start a channel. But I'm so glad I just bit the bullet, got over it, just turned my phone on and just started filming. And if you'll look at a lot of my early videos, the lighting isn't really that great. It's not like the production value was awesome. I had, I think, a GoPro and my iPhone at the time, but that's what I used to film with, and it was completely fine. And if you want to be completely honest, right now, my video production quality isn't the best. I don't have a fancy camera. I don't have fancy lighting. I am actually filming this coming to you live right now with an iPhone 13. Okay, so this phone I have is going on 3 years old, and I've just got my little box lighting behind me or in front of me, and it's totally fine. It is completely 100% totally fine. And personally, I think that the trend is more toward authentic, real people vibe kind of videos. People like that. People like watching a video that looks like it could be something that they could do themselves, if that makes sense. It makes them feel like I could do this. It gives them that confidence. And I mean, I'm sitting here and it's fine. 337 people think that this is totally fine. So that's what I'm, sticking with. So I just started back in 2016 talking about skincare, talking about makeup. I was really big on product reviews and talking about buying and reviewing things and this and that. That's a lot of what I was seeing on YouTube. And I still love a lot of those videos too every now and then, but that was more the focus back then, just talking about product review kind of thing. And I was really, really active on the channel. If you'll look back at my early videos, the production value, like I said, wasn't the greatest, but I was amassing quite a few videos. I even have this one video where I'm talking about the RCMA cream makeup. It's like an old school Hollywood brand cream makeup foundation review, and I think that video got over 5K views on it, and I was shocked. I was so excited. Fast forward to June 6, 2016, and my son, my 3.5-year-old son, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So needless to say, you want to talk about a punch to the gut, or just feeling like a train rammed into you. If you know anything about type 1 diabetes, especially in children, it completely changes your family's life. Your whole family existence changes. I like to say there's life pre-type 1 and there's life after type 1. And it took about a year to really adjust, to really figure out what we were doing as far as insulin dosage, high blood sugars, low blood sugars, just everything that we had to go through. That's just a whole thing. I can even talk about that in a video with my type 1 journey with my son. If anyone's interested, let me know in the comments. Suffice to say, that really, really slowed down me making videos on YouTube. And then 10 months after my son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, I myself was diagnosed with stage 3 rectal cancer. So everything stopped. Everything stopped. I wasn't making videos. It was the most trying, difficult time in my life. So was I making YouTube videos? I was not making YouTube videos. I stopped, and it wasn't even on the radar. So fast forward to 2019, by the grace of God, I had beaten cancer, cancer-free. I had been through pelvic radiation, 2 rounds of chemotherapy, cancer surgery. It was crazy. I kind of started feeling a little bit more like myself. I was kind of feeling like I was coming out of everything, finally feeling like I was starting to come out of that medical fog, my son's medical problems. I wasn't defined completely by cancer or being a type 1, mom. So feeling like I was maybe starting to want to get back into the swing of the things with YouTube. When I went back in 2019, I had joined a multi-level marketing company called Saint Beauty. You've probably heard about Saint Beauty. Saint Beauty videos are everywhere on YouTube. Saint Beauty basically is a cream makeup company. I've always been very anti-MLM. The reason that I joined that particular multi-level marketing company is because I really, really, really liked the product. And at first I just wanted to have the 20% discount. I mean, that's really why I joined. I've always been a real huge fan of cream makeup. Found this and I was like, this is amazing. And why don't I start making videos about Saint Beauty? So that's what I was doing. I was making videos about Saint. So now back in the swing of things on my channel, I'm starting to get some views, but I wasn't getting as many views as I was before, but I was still loving it. I was still enjoying myself. And I started also delving into the world of Instagram. And if you know anything about Instagram, personally for me, it was extremely addicting and it was extremely detrimental to my mental health. So doing the Instagram thing along with the YouTube thing, I was focusing more on Instagram and I amassed a little over 4,000 followers over there. But I will say, at the cost of my mental health. It was just something that was all consuming. I was always on there filming little videos, doing product reviews, talking about makeup and not really knowing what the heck I wanted to do or what I was doing with it. And I just felt really lost. So I took another break and I was gone for about a year. And at this time I was homeschooling, I was doing a lot of different things, and I just let YouTube kind of just wait in the background, left it on the side there, wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So point being, you might do what I did. You might start and stop and start and stop, and you might be wondering if that's okay. To be honest, it's not ideal, but if it happens, you will be fine. I took that year off and then came back to YouTube a little over a year ago, and none of my subscribers really fell off. I left with a little over 300 subscribers, and when I came back, everything was fine. I think that if you have some quality videos on your channel, you've got good topics, if you have a good message, if you really are teaching or imparting something, you don't really have to worry about being away for a while. Just go back when you're ready, and when you are ready to start again, your audience will still be there. Last year in 2023, I started a podcast called the Blessed Beauty Podcast, and the entire premise of the show is to talk about skincare and makeup, but talk about it from a simple and easy to follow and understand God-centered way. I'm all about education. I am here to talk to the real woman, the woman who is walking into a store like Sephora or Target or Walmart looking at, the huge skincare aisle, and they have no idea what they're looking for. Their skin is changing. They just want to know, why is my skin doing this? Why is it looking like this? How can I make it look better? So that's kind of the focus, is just simple, minimalistic skincare education. It's been really awesome, just kind of finding my groove again. I took a lot of my podcasts that I had recorded last year and I uploaded them on YouTube as just these static videos where it's just like my podcast, but in video form. And then I quickly realized I didn't want to go that route, because people are here on YouTube because they want to look somebody in the eye and they want to connect with somebody. If they're on YouTube, they probably want to look at my face. So that's why I am filming myself talking and doing the podcast, but on video. I cannot talk today to save my life. And again, that's another thing. If you are scared of starting a YouTube channel because you think you're going to fumble and bumble over your words all the time, well, you could do a super, super basic edit and cut out a lot of the ums and cut out a lot of the, staring into space and not, you don't have to have everything perfect. And guess what? People don't want to watch perfection anyway. That's boring. Perfection is boring, people. Okay. So here I am. I am going to be 50 years old in March. I have been on YouTube for 8 years and I have 337 subscribers. And now let's talk about you. I've told you my journey, but I want you to watch this and take my experience and what I've been through, use that to kind of think about where you are right now and where you want to go. So first and foremost, If you have wanted to start a YouTube channel and something has been holding you back, try to figure out exactly what it is. And if anything that I've said in this video, how I was starting and stopping in my 8-year period, I mean, that's fine. That's called pivoting. That is okay, because if you're still genuine and if you still have something that's worth listening to about whatever it is you want to talk about, it's okay to pivot. Or even if you're worried about, oh my gosh, what if I'm on for 5 years and I only have 100 subscribers? Well, it's all in the way you look at it. I have 337 subscribers, and I look at it as if you were in a room talking about something that you were passionate about and 337 people or even 50 people were listening to what you have to say, that is a blessing and that is a privilege. So think about it that way. The reason to do it is because you have something that you want to say, you want to inspire people, you want to help people, you want to talk to people. So first, find your why, and everything that you think that is a reason that's valid, that's been holding you back, I guarantee you it's not really that big of a deal, and it's not something that should stop you from turning on the phone, turning on some lights, and just starting to talk, okay? So just start. And if you're worried about freezing in front of the camera, if you're worried about, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? It is perfectly okay to sketch out some ideas. Okay, what do I want my first 5 episodes to be? You know, just sit down and write 5 ideas for 5 videos that you could maybe put out over the next couple of months. What do you want to say? If you have a knowledge of a topic, I guarantee you have it in you to just sit down and take a little bit of time and just sketch something out. But it doesn't have to be perfect either. As long as you have kind of an idea where you want to take your audience, you're on the right track. It doesn't have to be perfect. If I could tell you things that you could learn from my mistakes, there are a few things that I would advise you to do that I did not do. What I would advise you to do that I did not do in the beginning is come up with some type of schedule. Now, when I'm talking about a YouTube channel, there are certain buckets that have to happen, certain tasks, and you have to follow those tasks, and you have to do it in a somewhat orderly fashion, because if you don't, you'll find that your consistency might be going up and down and might wane. So all I mean is that if you really want to get serious and start a YouTube channel, what I would recommend to you is just write down a little schedule for yourself. One day is going to be a filming day, a day where you are on camera and you're filming. And then there's going to be another day that's going to be your editing and your upload day. Maybe have a day that precedes that is going to be where you just write out your ideas, what you're going to talk about. Just try to schedule that out. And it doesn't have to happen on separate days. If you have a couple of days out of the week where you can kind of scrunch everything together, then do that. Do what you have to do. But my point is, plan what you're doing. Because again, if you do everything kind of haphazard, the way that I did it back in the day, it kind of led to a little bit of me spinning my wheels a lot. Whereas now I kind of feel like finally now, after 8 years, I've got a groove. And I like to do is called batching my content, where I'll sit one day and I'll just write maybe 10 ideas for 10 podcast episodes and YouTube videos. I'll make a rough outline, things I want to talk about, main points I want to hit on. And then on another day, I'll film 2 episodes, 2 podcasts, and then another day I'll edit. So you want to sit down and you want to plan what you're doing. And another thing that I'll say is, don't fall into that rabbit hole that I fell in time and time again. Remember when I told you that I was all in my head about I can't start the channel and everything has to be perfect. So once I got over all of that, I actually did start the channel. Then I started going down all these other rabbit holes about how do other YouTube creators, what are their workflows like? How do they come up with ideas? And its own full-time job in of itself. You just have to do it, and you have to make the mistakes that you're going to make, and that's the way that you're going to learn. That's going to be the way how you are going to come up with your perfect workflow. In months to up to now, I feel like I have a good workflow. It's because I just developed it. I know what works for me, and I just executed it. Now, say if you don't know how to use a specific editing software that you want to learn to help you with your videos. Well, that's a different story. You can find videos and articles and things that will help you. But what I'm talking about is don't fall into the trap of wanting to emulate other creators and be exactly how they are and how they work and how they come up with their ideas and what they do, because then that turns into a slippery slope. You get into this idea where if you're not like the successful people and you can't seem to do what they do, then you shouldn't be doing it at all. That's nonsense. I would rather have you find your own flow, the way you want to do things, make mistakes, all that jazz, but at least be doing something, than be in that information paralysis state that I've gotten caught in so many times. But now I'm finally just doing what I know works for me and what is bringing me a feeling of completion and success, and feeling like what I'm doing is making a difference. So I hope that that was helpful. I hope my journey, listening to everything that I've been through, from my expectations to my realities to my mistakes to the things that I'm proud of, my journey is not going to look like your journey, and that is okay. And that is preferable, actually, because what you're going to gain, the feeling of self-satisfaction that you're going to have in yourself when you see a like, when you see a subscriber, this is a wonderful platform to really just get your message, your story out there, more so than any of the other platforms. I really do find that podcasting and YouTube to me is the most satisfying. It's the way that I feel most connected to you guys. So again, all those hangups, all those things that you feel, perfectly normal, but don't let it stop you. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them, but just get started today. I really want you to start feeling good about yourself in a way that you feel like you make a contribution. And a lot of us, sometimes we don't feel like we have a voice in our regular life. And this is a way to find your voice on YouTube. So I thank you so much for all your support. And if you don't mind, I would love to say a prayer with you. One of my favorite prayers, the Saint Michael the Archangel prayer. So in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, amen. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle, be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all evil spirits who wander through the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. Don't let Satan tell you you can't start that YouTube channel, because that is the word of the enemy. That is the word of the devil. Just tell him, not today, Satan. I am starting my channel. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Mwah.